We had a client come in the office one day. They smelled of smoke. Their house had just caught fire and they had gotten out and came in here because they didn't know what else to do.
So what are some recommendations you have for people to prepare for a total loss, or do you have any stories of someone going through that?
Lots of stories. I think most people think of a major loss as like what you're seeing out in California with the fires coming through. But a major loss can be, we had a client that they had a tree that fell through their house. And so that was a loss that it totaled their house, paid out for property damage, paid out for them to live somewhere for a year, all because of that tree. So what we typically tell people is whenever you're preparing yourself for major losses, you want to take pictures, you want to video through your house, because if you have a major loss, you're not thinking about, I've got 10 dress shirts in the closet or I have these pictures or all this stuff. But if you document it, it makes your life so much easier with the adjuster, and it makes sure you get all of your stuff paid for. I remember we had a client come in the office one day. They smelled of smoke because their house had just caught fire and they had gotten out and came in here because they didn't know what else to do. And so fortunately we were able to kind of get them directed in the right place, got the claim filed, they got a place to stay. We gave them some gift cards to kind of, get a meal because their house had just caught fire. So it's always unexpected, but the things you can do is just, again, take those photos, video real quick, store that on the web so it's not in the house. And then
You can email it to yourself is what I tell people, because that way you always have it. You don't want it stored on a computer that burns up in a fire.
Yeah. And then the other thing, that's what you can do in case you have a fire or a tornado. But the other thing you can do is also just prevention. Make sure you don't have any really large tree limbs hanging over your house or trees close to the house. And insurance companies have really started looking at that more frequently because it seems like we're having more windstorms, we're having more tornadoes come through. So it's something that you can do to prevent from having that major loss. Obviously, not always can you prevent a fire or a tornado, but there are some things you can do to help mitigate those risks.
Yeah, insurance companies are using more AI technology, and when we quote new business, they can see if there's like tree overhanging on people's homes, and they're requiring those to be cut back before they write new insurance. So just something to think about if you're worried about the trees on your property. Just have those maintained. Yeah,
we get a lot of questions too. It's like, why does the insurance company get to dictate whether I trim these trees or not? It's because they're paying for those losses. Just like with dogs, they want to make sure, just because it's a certain breed, it doesn't mean that they're going to bite more often, but when they do bite, it causes more harm. And so unfortunately, they're the ones that are paying those losses, which is why they have somewhat of a say. Of course, then the client gets to decide whether or not they move forward with that company. But so it's kind of a dance on choosing. But just being aware and knowing what you can do is the big thing. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content we provided today, click right here and watch some more.